Hello, beautiful people of the internet. My name is Faith, and today I decided to take a leap of faith, no pun intended. I just want to share my weight loss journey with you. For the longest time, I've wanted to start a YouTube channel, but I thought, oh my God, I can't put myself out there. I don't want to show, people who I really am. But there came a turning point where I just decided I need to be myself. There's no other way to be. If I cannot accept myself as I am, then who else is going to accept me? If I cannot love myself as I am, who else is going to love me? It starts with the self. So yes, I decided to take a leap of faith. I wondered what it is that I can talk about. I decided, you know what, I'm going to share my weight loss journey. I've battled with my weight for more than a decade. I was able to maintain a healthy body weight until I hit about 40. I don't know if it's like just being 40, or it's possible it could have been due to the stressors in life and my lifestyle choices. At around that time, I had 3 very active kids, a full-time job, still have a full-time job, but the way I approached work was in a very different way. It was very intense, a lot of pressures, a lot of long hours. I'd work 8:30 to 5, come home, try to throw something in the oven, and then boom, boom, bam, I had to get the kids ready. One had soccer practice, football practice, hockey practice, baseball. They've tried so many different sports, it's unbelievable. Get them home, bathe, and then before I looked around, it was like 10 o'clock and I just had little time for myself. I have a sleep disorder, and obviously that didn't help. And, just a lot of things going on, and I just didn't realize at the time that I needed to take time for myself. So before I knew it, I went from 180 pounds to 190, 220, 250. And at my highest, I was probably 300 pounds. Can you imagine 300 pounds? And a lot of my weight was centered around my midsection. I realized as I gained weight, I started to feel different. Not only my clothes feeling different, fitting different, and me having to go into the plus sizes, but that was really hard, having to go to plus size stores. Not throwing shade at plus size people, but when you've been used to wearing like a size 12, 13, which is still considered big, but then having to go into a size 18, size 20, size 22. I think at the highest I was at probably size 24. It's unbelievable. And then people looking at you a certain way. I remember going into a store up in the area where I used to live, and when the woman had last seen me, I was about 180 pounds, and I spent a lot of time in the house because I wore a lot of big clothes because I didn't want people to see me because I was ashamed. So when this woman saw me, she was shocked. She looked at me and she said, "Oh my God, what happened? Are you okay? Are you sick?" And I wasn't even mad. I just had to laugh in my head, and I just said, yeah, I've had some health issues. I've had some health challenges. But then again, I thought, who asks that? Like, who would say that to somebody's face? But you know what? I didn't take it personally. If anything, I was probably more upset at myself for letting myself go like that. And, the weight gain has many health implications, because as I started to gain weight, and, my doctor was very concerned, and having to do a lot of blood work and health checks. Next thing you know, I'm pre-diabetic, and I have to take medication. I also have a lot of inflammation, the fat on the body, achy joints, achy bones, puffy face, just a lot of aches and pains that I didn't normally have. A lot of flare-ups, and then that's like a whole other bottle of medication right there. Then next thing you know, I have HDL. cholesterol, I can get clogged arteries. That's a whole nother other set of medications, you know. I just filled this one. Or no, this is for sleeping, sleep issues. I have sleep apnea, and that progressively deteriorated as I gained weight. I have to use a BiPAP machine. This one is for my high blood pressure, so I have hypertension. So I've just shown you already 4 bottles, and then this one is for the HDL. So here I have all the medications that I'm currently taking, and it's unbelievable. The medical model, doctors, they don't treat the symptom. They treat only the symptoms, but not the deeper underlying issues. I don't know, I guess pharmaceutical companies, it's just a way for them to make money. But I decided, putting all this medication into my system, it's just destroying my insides, it's destroying my liver. All of this has to be, go through your system, go through your liver, and there could even be additional complications from that, because on all of the bottles it tells you there's this side effect, that side effect. And I decided, I'm 50 years old. I have 3 children that are still relatively young. My daughter just turned 22. I have a son who's 18, and I have a son, my youngest is 16. And I decided, I can continue making the choices that I'm making and living the way I'm living, but I'm not going to have a very long life, because it's just getting progressively worse and worse over time. So I decided, when I turned 50 last year, I went on the scale. I couldn't believe it. I was like 295 pounds. Unbelievable. And I decided, my doctors decided, okay, your arteries, your body needs a break, for an emergency, way of dealing with it, go on these medications. Luckily, and I'm not promoting medication or anything, but in my case, it was necessary to sort of take some of the strain off of my body. So the metformin that they put me on has helped to significantly reduce my A1C levels. I'm still in the pre-diabetic range, but it's not as bad as it used to be, where, I'd go into full-blown diabetes, where I'd need insulin. My HDL has stabilized, my blood pressure has stabilized. So my ultimate goal is to get off all these medications. And the question is how am I going to do that? Well, medication is not the be all and end all. It works for some people. In my case, it worked, in this emergency sense, but I don't want to continue my life. I don't want to continue going throughout my life depending on medication. I want to understand the deeper underlying issues for what my problems are. How did I gain all this weight? How did I get here? And I have to take full responsibility for that. I have nobody to blame but myself. And even though I've accepted responsibility, I still have to be kind to myself, give myself a break, not beat up on myself, because there's no point to that. I just have to forgive myself and come up with an action plan and decide how I'm going to sort of go about, making these healthy lifestyle changes. My face used to be a lot puffier. I was swollen, skin rashes, just so many different symptoms that comes along with being unhealthy and having excess weight. So my goal is to make some positive lifestyle changes. I've started to do so by cutting out the refined carbs, the sugar. My go-to was tons of sugar and cream in my coffee. That could add on several hundred calories, and that's, apart from, the food I would eat on a daily basis. So can you imagine all that excess sugar? So I've cut out a lot of the sugar, and I take my coffee black, and I don't find it so interesting drinking black coffee, so I'm cutting out coffee. I'm not completely off of coffee, but from time to time I do have black coffee. I'm also not eating around the clock. One of my problems was eating 24/7. You know, from the time I woke up, you know, I would put food into my mouth until it was bedtime. Why? I don't think I did it because I was hungry. I think I did it more so because it was just bad habits. And, you know, just being on autopilot and not really thinking. And, you know, if I'm going through something, you know, I'd probably comfort myself by just eating and eating and eating. But there are implications for eating around 24/7 and not giving your body time to rest. And I will get into that more, you know, as I move along on this journey. I will explain, you know, what some of those implications are, and how it's important to, you know, sort of structure your meals. Not necessarily deprive yourself of anything, but eating 24/7 is bad for the gut and just bad for overall health. It's unnecessary. And, you know, it's just identifying your triggers, becoming a little bit more conscious, and, you know, making better decisions. Um, so I know this is not going to be an easy journey. In addition to sort of making more healthy choices, cutting out the refined carbs, you know, eating more greens and, you know, eating more on schedule, I have to also implement exercise. I have a gym membership. I've had it since last September, and I can count on how many times on my hand that I've actually gone. You know, so I have to make it a part of my daily routine. You know, I don't have to go every single day, but even if I go several times a week, that's going to be a plus, because I think adding muscle, you know, will help me to sort of burn more calories at rest. And I'll get into that too. So I just wanted to give a brief introduction as to who I am. I'm Faith, and I hope you'll join me along my weight loss journey. And I'll check in, you know, from time to time. I don't know exactly. I don't have a schedule. It could be once a week. It could be twice a week. I'll do it as best as I can. You know, I'm still not used to being on camera and, you know, showing my body, obviously, but I'm willing to go there, and I'm willing to sort of take this leap. And hopefully if I could help one person along this journey, that would be awesome. So I thank you for tuning in, and please, I look forward to you joining me along this journey. Have a great day, and bless up yourself. Take care. Bye-bye.